I want to convince you that the gap between you and the man you want to be isn't a gap. It's a test. And I know everything you see on social media, especially in the online internet guru space, the emphasis is always the gap. It's always the knowledge you're missing. It's always the thing that they know that you just don't, and they have to teach it to you. And I want to be transparent. I have a coaching program for men to help transform their lives, but this is exactly what I teach. There is no gap. It's a test. You are already the man you want to be right now. The test is, can you believe until it happens? And I know this is a concept that's hard to grasp, but for anybody that has ever materialized a goal, you understand this is the only thing that's standing in the way from you and the person you want to be. You and your goals, you and your dreams, you and your purpose, you and your mission. The only thing that stands in the way is actually not even something that's standing in the way. There's no gap. There's no distance. You already are. You just have to believe, and you have to have enough faith. Faith is things unseen long enough for it to be seen. It's that simple. But the thing I always struggled with for years, trying to change my life, trying to start my businesses, trying to become the man I wanted to be, was that you have 4 elements of change: your thoughts, your actions, your belief, and your expectations. Okay, now, the reason you cannot change your life, the reason you've been the same for as long as you can remember, and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, but you have a guy, me, telling you that there's no gap between the person you want to be, but you have not seen anything happen. That is because the thoughts, the actions, and the beliefs that you possess are still in the frame of the man that you currently are. So all you are seeing is a continuous cycle of you being the same person or the same man that you don't like, and seeing the same failures and no motion and all that you don't like. And it's because of exactly what I said at the beginning of the video. The test is the belief and the faith. So I am not going to, you are not going to act, think, believe, and do anything that has to do with the life that you want to live if you cannot first work on the faith and on the belief. That is baseline level. I would argue, especially right now in the age of information, you need to act. You don't need any more information. You don't need any more preparation. You don't need to listen to another podcast. You need to act. You need to act in faith. You need to act in certainty. And your emphasis should be on your faith and your belief in the man that you want to be. And then the only gap is the test of which, can you remain faithful, and can you remain confident, and can you remain in that belief until you see that thing come to life? This is the test. And again, only people that have seen this happen in their life can truly understand this concept. And I just want to drive it home as much as I can. Every single time you don't believe, you remove yourself from the arena. You literally take yourself out of the game. So even with all the knowledge you have, even with all the preparation that you've been doing for years now, you're not in the game, no matter what. This is why you always see people that are less qualified than you, dumber than you, making more money and doing the thing you want to do. They don't care about the qualifications. They don't care about the knowledge. They don't care about the preparation. They just go. And they go in faith, and they go in belief. I became one of the best stunt riders in the country over the last 10 years. And this one thing changed my entire riding career and took me to levels that I could have never, ever imagined. I used to tell myself every time I was going to try a new trick, when I was nervous, I would always try to mentally prepare for it. I'd always try to think about the technique and the form and all this other stuff. It never helped me, because at the end of the day, I had to go do it. And I had to go do it while I was scared. I had to go do it while I was fearful. And the thing that changed my life is that I told myself, I will deal with the consequences after. whether I succeed or whether I fail and break my neck, I will deal with it later. I'm not going to deal with it why I move, why I act. This is stepping out in faith. Okay? That is the perfect metaphor, me doing the new tricks for exactly what I'm talking about. I could do it. There is no question whether it was a possibility, whether I could do those tricks. But the test was, do you believe enough to risk your life doing these tricks? Okay? Do you believe enough to risk your money chasing the bag, chasing the dream, being on purpose, being on your mission? Do you believe enough to let go of the person that you are right now and step into the man that you want to be? Do you believe enough? Okay? I'm telling you, there is no gap. You don't need no more information. You don't need more knowledge. You don't need more ChatGPT. You don't need any of this. You need to move. Of course, there's a time for information. Of course, you need to know what you're looking at and know what you're doing and be competent. But I would argue most of you watching this video right now are well equipped and well prepared and have been in the game for a long time, but you don't have the results you want. You're not the man you want to be. Everything in your reality doesn't look how you want it to look. You need to move. And you need to move in faith. And you need to understand there is no gap. It's a test. And the test is, can you remain in belief and in faith until that thing that you're thinking about that keeps you up at night shows up in your life? If this video resonated with you, I have 2 links in the description and in the pinned comment. I work with men one-on-one on things exactly like this. We also have a men's group, Iron Sharpens Iron. Catch you guys in the next one.